What's up guys, HOTSHOT Frontier back at it again with another video. In this video guys, we're going over the Rogue tier list for July 2023. But guys, if you've not seen my meta tier list video for the national season, I'll leave a link down below for you to check it out. But guys, let's go ahead and get into our categories, and that is top rogue, we have viable option, we have could win locals, we have dedicated player, and finally we have copium because unfortunately it is copium guys. But let's go ahead and get into our first deck, and that is Tri-Brigade. Now, not just regular Tri-Brigade, but this is actually Tri-Brigade with Sprite. Definitely a top rogue strategy. I think Literalist Tri-Brigade is definitely lower on the list, but Sprite is definitely there. Moving on, we have Drytron. Definitely could win locals. I think Drytron needs more support, but what they're doing really good now is that they're summoning a Link 2. I believe it's called Dino Mondo, and that what that card can do is actually summon out the ritual monster that locks your opponent out from monster effects for that turn, which is really strong. Next we have Dinos, and definitely a viable option for Dinos. I think they would be top rogue. I really want to put them in top rogue, but Konami really needs to give us back Mista 3. Like, it's been so long, and I feel like this format is perfect for it because there are a lot of decks, stronger decks right now out on just their support. I believe that with Misk added, they're still going to be able to deal with it. You know, it's not going to be like overpowered, but it's going to give us a lot of power back to our deck. Moving on though, we have ninjas, and definitely gonna put that in copium. Ninjas are really good against Cashier, don't get me wrong, but it's just like against other decks, they're very weak, unfortunately. But they have a good tech moment, like if someone tries to Nibiru you, if you have Book of Moon, just bring them all face down. Nibiru only targets face-up monsters, so it is what it is. But I think right now it's just ninjas, they're copium. Moving on, we have Earth Machine, and Earth Machine actually takes a dedicated player because it is lacking support. It needs more support, but also you need to know the ins and outs of the deck, and there are a lot of different combo lines, so you really need to know what you're doing. Same thing with Gene Raider. Gene Raider is a really good deck. They got their latest support in Photon Hypernova. Their new boss monster is really good, but it takes a dedicated player to really know what they're doing with the deck. If you're just picking up the deck for the first time and not understanding what it does, you're gonna have difficulties with it. But moving on, we have Gate Guardian, and yeah, that's copium. Listen, I saw the live feature match a few months ago. I was very proud of Gate Guardians, but yeah, guys, they're copium for rogue. They're definitely not like up there. It is what it is, but it's a fun deck to play. Now, guys, going on to Black Wings. Definitely top rogue. Let me explain why. There are a lot of combo decks in rogue, but I believe Black Wings is a very consistent one. Plus, it has a lot of negates, which is really strong. The new monster they got from Darkwing Blast, they got a lot of monsters, but the Assault Blackwing Dragon is a really strong monster that you just really need to go ahead and send the materials to the grave and just summon it out. And it's a 3200 beater, plus they just got a new card from Monstrous Revenge, so I can't wait to show you guys that deck profile. It's going to be awesome, but stay tuned for that. Moving on though, guys, we have Salamangreat, and you have to put that in copium. Salamangreat, it's been out for so long, and even getting the new support cards, it's just not going anywhere. It's like the weakest Cyberse deck out there, but you know, like Maurice's is better, Math Mech is better, Code Talkers are better, but it might just stay in copium, honestly, unless it gets like better support or a new way to play it. Next we have Plunder Patrol, and honestly, like the definition of a viable option. You can play the Adventurer package with it, which again just got reprinted, so it's cheaper. You can also, with this deck, play a lot of hand traps, and you can adjust the hand traps based on the format you're in. Plus, their extra deck monsters are really good monsters, you know, depending on the deck you're versing too. So definitely definition of a viable option. Moving on, we have Code Talkers, and definitely could win locals with Code Talkers. Like, Code Talkers are really good. I think Math Mechs are better, but you don't want to underestimate Access Code Talker. Plus, the Ibby Lock is insane, so definitely watch out for Code Talkers. Moving on, we have Exo Sisters, viable option. I'm so happy they're getting more wins, like the YCS remote duel recently. So happy for them. That's great. D-Shifter is an amazing Yu-Gi-Oh card. Don't ban it, Konami. Next up, guys, we have this Umi support. Umi support definitely could win locals. It's a very strong deck. I'm really happy he got support. My friend was ecstatic. He loves Legendary Ocean, just like the water decks in general. So awesome card. Moving on, we have Dynamorphias, and Dynamorphias could win locals. It's hard for me to put in viable option because they really want to go first, and it's hard going second. But Dynamorphia is really good. The fact that it's kind of like a detriment to the deck is that it keeps lowering its life points. So decks that burn, it's gonna die unless they have the trap card that can stop the effect damage. But other than that, like, it's a very strong strategy going first. Like, don't get me wrong. Normal summon set 4, like, it's good. Moving on though, we have Elidge. And Elidge, I don't want to put in Copium, I'm gonna put in Dedicated Player. Reason being is that Elidge is a really good deck, but it hasn't gone new support. And it's just kind of stayed the same, unfortunately, because it has been good overall long term, you know, using cards like Skill Drain and other trap cards, but it's just, for now, it's just been the same. I mixed it with branded Elidge. You guys can check that deck profile on my channel, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with the deck, but unfortunately it's just like still the same. It needs something else to kind of blossom it. Now we're moving on to Heroes, guys, and I'm so happy to say it is top of Rogue. With the new support, it's gone really well. Like, I love the fact that right now in the format, the hand traps have changed where people are playing less and less of Droll, which is really good because Hero searches like crazy, right? And you can't really Ash Boss in this deck because it's like, okay, cool, I have like 8 more searches. So the deck is really great. I can't wait to see you know, how it does like torments. Like, it's gonna be really good. I can't wait to see how far it goes. It's gonna be great. But all right, guys, going on to the next one, we have Draco Slayers, and I can say it's a viable option. A lot of people have stopped playing Draco Slayers, but for real, like, they can summon a monster and just stop your opponent from special summoning. Like, the Sloth, like, it's a crazy card. Plus, if you don't know what their cards do, a lot of decks in the Rogue tier, even meta tier, mostly Rogue though, people don't know what they do when you verse them, right? And that's good because then you can use that to your advantage. But as people know, like, what certain combo lines do and what certain deck strategies do, it gets more difficult. Now, next up, guys, we have is Goatee, also pronounced fish. But yeah, it actually could win locals. This deck, just like I was talking about before, it's like a hidden gem. If people do not know what you're versing, yeah, it's gonna be rough for them. Now, it's gonna be hard if they know your combo line. They can stop you early. There's really little to no recovery. But the deck is insane and it's worth playing. Like, you guys should definitely go ahead. It can win locals. In Dark Worlds, I'm actually gonna say it takes a dedicated pilot. Especially now, I mean, yes, less people are playing Droll, but also people are playing the Bestial stuff, you gotta remember. And because Despia is a huge threat right now. So you wanna be very careful, but I'm sure playing certain tech cards with Dark Worlds and the hand loops they have, it's crazy, can really benefit you in the long term. Next, guys, we have is Makonko, and we put that in a viable option. There are a lot of ways to play this deck if you guys do not know. Definitely go ahead and check it out. But yeah, Makonko, I'm so happy for Amazing Defenders. It's starting to really pick up. It's definitely a viable option. The meta, you can mix this with a lot of different decks, so definitely go ahead and check that out. But it's complete opposite. We have is Rescue Ace. That's going Copium. Now people are going to be like, wait, it's doing really good in the OCG, but hey, this is not the OCG. But hey, we're getting more support in Duelist Nexus. Well, it's not time for Duelist Nexus yet, unfortunately. It's a strategy. It might get better, but we'll have to see, right? Next up, guys, we have this Crystal Beast, and I'm going to have to put it in Copium because the best way to play this deck is Conclave Control. Other than that, there's really no other way to play the deck. I feel like they need more options, but it's a good deck. It's just very difficult to play against higher end decks. Next, we have his Super Heavy Samurai, and I'm gonna put it could win locals. Or actually, no, I'm gonna say viable option because the deck is not dead. It's just no longer at its top tier as it was before with the FTK, but it's still a very good deck. Next we have his Tearlaments, and Tearlaments, I'm actually gonna say. Next up we have his Tearlaments, and that's definitely Dedicated Player because the deck has been so limited from the ban list and just the cards it can use in the deck. It's mixing in with Shaddoll's, the Shizu cards at 1, so it's hard to play the deck, but it's still playable. And if you're forgetting what they do, you could definitely be caught off guard. So definitely watch for that. Now this represents anti-meta decks in general, and I'm actually going to put that in Copium because I feel like as Yu-Gi-Oh progresses and decks get stronger, anti-meta gets weaker. It used to be a lot better. Like in 2018, I played the deck getting back into competitive for the first time, and I had a little success with it, but at the same time, 1, you want to go first, and 2, you hope that your hand is godly. And if it's not, it's going to be a rough time, unfortunately. But maybe as the future progresses, we'll get more cards that we can use against the meta. Moving on, we have Weather Painters, and Weather Painters, they could win locals, but it also could take a dedicated player, and I'm actually going to put it in dedicated player. They do play, of course, D-Shifter, and the fact that this card itself acts as like a Solemn Judgment, it's really good. But it's also a very cheap strategy too if you're looking for cheap strategies. Next we have Shaddol, and I'm actually going to put that in Copium. I feel like at that point you play tier elements, but you know, I remember at one time it was Invoke, Dogmatica, Shaddol, one deck. It was crazy, but yeah, it's just like all 3 of those strategies have just plummeted down in like in terms of popularity. But by itself, it's definitely not it. It's Copium. Next we have Teller Knights. Kind of want to put that in Copium, to be honest with you, but I'll put in dedicated player because if you have someone that's really like going out of their way to understand what the deck does and trying to see what they're versing against, you could see success with it, slight success. But I feel like overall, Konami turning it into a combo deck, they should have added more like control-based cards. And that might be the route for it, because I feel like people will know what the end goal for this is, the turn skip, and they're gonna be like, all right, let me stop this right now before that even progresses any further. Moving on, we have Spirals, definitely Copium. Master Plan, still banned, so I don't understand. Last but not least, we have Virtual World. I'm gonna put that in Copium too. Virtual World has had a lot of time to really just kind of marinate, and it's just not it. I don't think many people are playing it. Might need more support to help it, you know, get a little better in the meta. But I do like the Macrocosmos on field, but unfortunately it's just not it. You need more in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. But guys, that's it for the rest of the tier list. If you guys liked it, definitely let me know down below. Did I get all the decks? Did I miss your deck? But guys, if you like this video, make sure to give it a huge like. Comment down below, did I get your deck or did I miss it? Let me know. And guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you update the moment I upload new videos. But guys, that's it from me. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.